Steiny and Guru.
Oh, boy.
So, 148. Dibs, who used to do that? It's
Let's see if he
148
gets
on a
it.
Wednesday
He's a P1,
afternoon.
but he may know who it is.
Oh, man. Who was that?
Give it to him again, Steiny. What time is it?
Chad Doing.
Oh, my God, dude. Flight 95-7.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I'm going to jump in.
God, Steiny.
Willard and Dibs, you guys got a relationship. You've worked with other radio partners.
I've worked with them all.
This is my radio guy.
Yeah.
How fair or foul is it to bring to the air immediately something that your partner says in another conversation? I would never do that.
Depends on what the subject is.
Well, but
I mean,
there shouldn't be anything.
I've always had this.
He just dimed me out.
Well, what was the subject? I didn't even hear it.
One was Bonte. I was going to ambush him on something he said to Baldy about Kyle Shanahan and the situational play calling. He just threw me under the bus. And another thing with, what was the other one?
He said he's going to get on Bonte Hill for saying that Kyle Shanahan has done better on in-game after 2 games. And Guru goes, you know what? Let me see it in the playoffs. I'm going to get on Bonte because of that.
So I was saving that for our video tomorrow. He dimes me out.
In the next breath, Guru says, I tell you what, if Baker Mayfield wins that game against the Eagles, he's officially back.
I did not use that officially back. He's been left for dead.
Yeah.
If he can be
by my
Philly,
partner,
well, all of us. So he can take a lap if you don't win another game. But I would be happy for Baker, and that's all I said to Evan, not him. And then he just goes out of here.
Dibs knows this.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
I've always had an idea bounce around in my head. I don't know how to execute it, but a podcast called The Breaks.
because these are the breaks.
But because
Curtis
what's really juicy is what we all talk about during the breaks.
Man.
Because we're just real people.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about life and stuff, right? And so there are a lot of times that what we're talking about during the breaks
sometimes better than the show.
But it spills right back. Like, okay, Grandy will yell, coming back. And it's like, we're still talking. And we just bring it to the air, but not if it's like personal.
Right,
I think if it's a sports opinion, it's fair game.
There you go.
All right.
That's what I think.
All right. And that's all it was.
But that's me.
No, I ain't mad at
That's
you.
me. But if I had a partner who said don't do that,
Never.
I'd probably respect it.
Yeah, and
probably.
I don't know if I've ever done that. I mean,
don't think so.
Yeah, and you and I,
we try to be as open of books as we can.
Well,
yeah, I get that.
It's crazy because Mark and I sometimes during the breaks will go like super deep, like level 12 personal family stuff, and then it's like the mic comes on and it's like, dude, you're not crying, I'm crying. Wait, we were both crying right there because sometimes you go deep and whatever. We're friends and we're all family in here and the whole thing. But
I've been through a lot the last couple of years since we got
together.
together.
We both have. So, and I do want to keep it real that you talk about getting dimed out. Well, I just dimed out Steiny in our show meeting before we came in here.
Yeah, that's true.
Boy.
Yeah,
you came up down the hall.
Yeah, I want to keep
acting like
you
he
caught
doesn't
a
wanna know,
damn
but
stray. You caught a damn stray.
Can you share it with us in the list?
Of course I can share it because here we are. It's 1:52 and I'm Chad Doing. Thank you, Steiny. We were talking about taking calls. And, we want to take more calls on our show. We love the callers. You guys do such a great job. And, Mark said, how do you feel? Or the boss might have said, how do you feel about coming out of the break and going straight to the callers?
It was me.
And I said, how do I feel? I said, dude, bros before phones.
That was just slow.
And they're all looking at me
that doesn't even rhyme.
No,
so it's
whatever.
a terrible.
You get the point.
It's a terrible motto.
And so I gave Mark the backstory of our show, Steiny, Guru, and Dibs, during the pandemic,
Mark,
and how
what a show,
and how 51 weeks, I'll never forget it, and how I would come down Steiny's road about going right to the phones, bros before phones.
I would have gone co-host before calls. I think is catchier.
It doesn't rhyme either.
Yeah, but you got the C sound.
C's,
You got to have something that connects. Bros before phones does not work.
It actually works better because we all are bros, and you go to your bros before you go to the phones.
Which is presumptuous. I've seen a lot of non-brotherly behavior between co-hosts.
I don't know. Do you have a brother? You have a sister?
I do not.
Okay, so you don't know what it's like to have a brother.
I have multiple brothers-in-law.
I have two brothers.
Not only, I have a sister.
My two brothers have, and I actually announced the first fight in Petaluma, 1978. They went toe-to-toe for about 12 rounds, and then an hour later, they were hugging it out, and they shared a room, and it was all good.
Yeah, that's what brothers do.
Sure. That's what we do on this program.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, I mean, I've been to war with all three.
Well, but I mean, well, that's not even just bros. That's friends.
No, but
I mean, John Bloom. Now, by the way, I can announce openly the new voice of the Phoenix Suns.
Okay, R.I.P.
Yes.
Rest in Phoenix.
There you go. Very good. But Al McCoy, their voice for 117 years, has finally retired. And John is now the voice of the Suns.
Wow.
He's my best friend at San Mateo High School. He's my best friend in life.
Whoop.
I have kicked that man out of my house. I threw him
Physically?
the F out my house.
Wow.
And then,
What
but he's my
did he do?
I don't even remember.
Didn't wipe his feet on the doormat.
Is alcohol involved or
no?
Okay.
Blame it.
I like
Willard on
Jamie
You know what I mean? He's my boy, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So get the hell out my house.
Yeah. And you
then,
came back from
of
that is a
course.
sign of a strong. Our program, this guy, I'm never mad at him. Well, sometimes.
Well,
that's a lie.
I mean,
Turn the page!
3 weeks ago, I was on the phone. Is that Bob Seger? Turn the page, Steiny?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you, little
Yes,
Bob
it is.
Seger. Anyway, Bros Before Phones, you came up, Steiny, and I wanted to keep it, because Mark knows, I keep it real. I wanted you to know that I did definitely mention you in our show meeting about that very axiom that I believe in. So
Interesting,
anyway.
the boss doesn't mind it.
What?
Apparently.
Me rat-a-tat-tatting you
No,
at
me going
138?
right to the phone.
No, he wasn't saying he had
I
a
minded
problem with it. Yeah.
I was the one who had a problem with
Right.
it. And it's a me problem.
Right, the boss
apparently.
doesn't.
No, it's a me problem.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I'm going to put my name on it.
You're
I'm Dan
Westbrook.
Dibley, and
You
I have a
want your
problem
shots.
with it.
Yeah.
I just want to.
I
I
know,
mean,
I'm
I want you to throw me the ball before I give it back to you,
All right,
James
okay.
Harden, and then you go ahead and dribble, and I'm standing on the weak side.
So anyway, because of this conversation,
Anyway.
I'm going full Kobe today.
Kobe,
And yeah, like I'm either not going to pass at all, or I'm only going to pass.
I'll
But you
never
got to tune
forgive him
in to
for
find out.
right? And if
Yeah.
you pass, I hope you pass to the phones because I am already 2 feet in Santa Clara. I'm actually heading down the peninsula tonight.
Are you going down
wow.
tonight?
I'm going down tonight.
Look at Willard.
I'll be staying at a 2-star motel to be named later.
Okay.
I'll be waking up early tomorrow. Hello, friends.
The hell was that?
I don't know.
Someone playing piano in the other room?
Lucille, yeah.
It's going to be a wake and rake tomorrow as I'll be raking the bunker early morning at
Oh.
Baylands. Hello, friends.
Oh, I love Baylands.
Not a wake and bake, not a
look
wake
at
and take.
Dibs
It's going to
living.
be a wake and rake tomorrow. Hello, friends. And then I will see you at Santa Clara. Let's go to Dibs, half in the bag.
I have a really hard time trying to make this not sound like a big old flex, but
Well, I mean, come on.
Well,
Everything you say is,
I
well,
know,
John
I
Bloom
know.
and I, whoop, whoop, whoop.
oh, this is way better than that.
Flex,
no.
flex, flex,
No,
flex.
that's a special. I'll just put it that way. That's a special place to me.
Is this
Me
the
and
golf
Brian
round?
Baumgartner
Is this the golf round with Wes Parker?
No.
with Charlie Parker.
Prior to it being Baylands, when it was just Palo Alto Muni, yeah, home to one of my 3 career holes in one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Did you buy the drink
He's got
for everybody?
3.
The round for everybody?
Well, I was playing with my dad, and then and like
Shout
my
out
son.
Tom.
Oh wait, no, that one was with my buddies.
T-Dub.
Yeah, I probably did.
right.
I probably did. Although I still contend that is the worst rule in sports. It's the stupidest thing of all kind.
Why do you have to spend on something? A lunar eclipse.
You achieve something amazing, and you have to buy everybody who sees you. Like they could be in your group. Other people start glomming on from other groups.
When you have a kid,
like
they
ridiculous
give you cigars. You don't pass
well,
them out.
especially since if we're talking about a party of 8, what would it cost all of them to buy you the drink? It would cost them 75
I'll
cents a
never
person.
understand that rule.
I don't get it either. It's
Like,
a lame rule.
It's actually.
I tried to explain it to
Yes.
you, what the history shows, but I guess
Thank
you
you.
didn't
And
listen.
if you go to Japan,
Okay.
you're going to be out 5 figures if
Yeah.
you get a hole in one.
which is absurd. And
You're
I
buying
know-
people like gifts and bracelets and necklaces.
But
and the whole
why?
thing.
But
Does
I
the
understand-
person that had the good fortune
Karma
happen to
Goo,
him?
you believe in karma. He does it.
Yeah, he
but
does.
I
I
understand.
heard that.
I understand history. I also understand that we arrive at times in our society where it's time to change history.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah.
I just hit a
Man.
hole in one.
Buy me a
Man.
Manhattan on the rocks,
Man.
sucker. I'm the one who hit the
But-
shot.
I mean, geez, what does a
do you-
parakeet
are you-
say?
What are you thankful
Cheep,
for?
cheep.
Are you thankful for anything?
Thank you. It's a 4.
Yeah.
What?
Life.
Okay.
My family.
You can't be thankful for hitting a hole in one, which is one of the hardest things to do in life. It's you're thankful. So thank the golf gods by buying a drink for the other people who play golf so you can share your good fortune with them.
So next I'm blown away. So there are golf gods, but not football, baseball, and basketball gods.
Yeah, it doesn't work with anything else.
I'm just repeat. I don't believe it, but it's the history.
I'm
are holes in one like children where because you have 2, Steiny.
I got 3 of each.
And you just let me do the build-up for once. Good God, you self-serving Mother Teresa.
Thank you.
You've got 3. He's got 2. I've played probably more golf than both of you, although Steiny's probably knocking on my door. I think I've played 700 rounds registered, and I have 0.
Count these?
I never. You post. You don't post?
Yeah, but I mean, at times in my history, I haven't.
So you're a virgin.
Last year. Easy with that, okay? I got 3 kids and a bunch of problems, all right? And a reverse vasectomy on the books. Wow. There's one thing I'm not. It's a virgin. But are holes in one like your children, or do you have one that's more of a favorite than the others? And I ask you to, knowing that I am, in fact, a virgin. Thank you, Guru.
That's a good question.
Yeah, count that.
Favorite. Only one, the one at Palo Alto Muni, is the only one.
With whom were you playing? Because you were about to flex it.
High school buddies. That's the only one that actually came on what's considered a full 18 par 72.
Oh, the other ones were in like
9-hole courses.
No, those don't count.
Yeah, they do.
Those don't count.
Emily would tell that's very different.
Not like 60-yard holes.
Is that one or
they were full-length par 3s.
Like how long?
I don't know, 100 and something.
Yeah. What course?
By the way, I can tell you.
Total booth review.
The first hole in one. I've actually done shows on this, and most people will say they count. It's the people who don't have any that say they don't count.
This guy's got 2, and he's questioning you.
Because I have 2.
Anyway,
yeah, you got 2 real ones.
The first hole in one I ever hit was literally like my 3rd round of golf in my life.
And where?
Laguna Lakes Golf Course, San Luis Obispo. I was in college.
Executive course?
Yeah, par 3, 71 yards.
No. It was I still know. It was a 120-yard hole.
That counts.
And it was with a 7-iron.
Oh God!
Because I didn't know how to play golf, and I just did that stiff swing thing, and it landed on the front of the green and whacked into the flag.
Count it.
The hole. Got my name in the paper.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Twitch and YouTube powered by First NorCal Credit Union. The second one for me was my favorite. I saw that one go in. First one I didn't.
And where were your 2? Like one was way back east,
one
right?
One was in Shoregate, New Jersey. Very difficult course.
I remember that one was elevated, and you never saw it go in.
Yep. And
I love the story.
Peacock Gap.
You got one at the Peacock?
6.
Where's that at?
Nice.
Number 6, that par 3 over the water?
It's in San Rafael.
Pin must have been in the front.
It was in the front.
You played it off the little ridge in the back. And
no, it went bounce in.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I've got
when that
2
pin's
official.
up top, it's a brutal. It's a 3-putt hole. But when the pin's in the front, I'm not saying it's a gimme because I don't have a hole in one. I'm not going to try and denigrate your ace, but it's a nice little ace there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you already do the ID?
He just did.
Okay.
He just did.
Sorry, I dialed out for
We talked about Peter King's quotes to you guys yesterday about he can't put Brock Purdy in the top 10, but if he needed to pick somebody to win a game for him, Brock's in the top 10. So if Peter's listening,
he's in the top
10.
Well,
no, I thought it was a great way to say it, but it was also a little bit of a cop out.
Did you feel like he was splitting the baby?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's like a lot of people. I need to see more, but more is getting to a point to where it's about to evaporate because you're going to have that. It looks like.
I just I don't know the whole need to see more party. Man. The only part of that that's real is obvious. Like, he does not have a career-long resume to talk about. He doesn't. However, for me, and I said this last week, like, the sample size argument is left town. We're done here. Like, it's been 10 football games, and we make all kinds of judgments about people in 10 football games. Do you feel like Deshaun Watson is a disappointment with the Cleveland Browns?
Thus far, yes.
Well, you can say thus far. I would say they regret the contract already, and that's been 8 games. It's been 8 football games. So this is now stretching over 2 seasons. He has shown you who he is. I don't think that this is
2 playoff games.
Right? Like, well, that's the other thing. If you're going to play, well, what about resume? Okay, where does that stop? Because we can go to much more accomplished quarterbacks, supposedly, who already don't have as many playoff wins as he does. So I don't know, man. Well, I don't know. I get it. It's been short relatively. It's also been very firmly stated.
Here's what I think he meant. And I think this is what most people mean is, okay, he's not a top 10 quarterback, but if we have to win a game and engineer a drive, he'd be in my top 10. No, he wouldn't.
Wait a minute.
The Niners are the reason he's in your top 10.
That's exactly where I've been this whole time, Steiny, and he pushes back on this.
I completely pushed back, and so did Steve Weiss with you guys yesterday. Brock Purdy's talent would travel. That does not mean,
no doubt.
That does not mean that all the other teams, if you were to join them, would look like the Niners. But what I think is borderline, what's the word?
Unfair?
I don't want to say, yes, that's
Slander.
a good one. I don't want to say disrespectful, but borderline unfair to Brock Purdy is the suggestion that he is a production of the 49er team.
Can I give
this? To me, is unfair.
Line one: Phil Jackson wouldn't have his rings if he didn't coach Shaq or coach.
Sure.
Or Mike.
Yeah, we didn't.
Your surroundings. Your surroundings always matter. Do we know how many Bill Belichick rings? How many has he got without Brady?
That's a whole nother thing, man.
You know what I mean? Like, you get credit for what you're a part of, but you also contribute to it in a major, major way.
So is that haterade when you say or do the math of? It's what he's around.
A little bit.
Because you're taking away.
A little bit.
Well, then we got to quit saying that they're the most talented team in football.
Why? Yeah, they're the most talented team in football because of Brock Purdy.
Well, because
why can't it be both?
Something to the table.
It can be both. It can be both. But if I say they have the best talent, they have the best roster in football, you'll be like, well, you're not giving Brock enough credit. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Roster.
Right, he's got the best. He's got the best playmaking teammates
in the league. We said quarterback
league.
Heaven.
Right,
we called it that.
Right,
but we still can watch him perform and say he's bringing something to the table. Would you say,
Brock? All things being equal, forget the Niners. Just a team, any team. Would you want Brock? Is Brock Purdy a top 10 quarterback to any team? Just a team. Nondescript team.
Well,
top 10 quarter. Well, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying is he with Kyle Shanahan or not? That's how I would.
He's another reason.
I mean,
this is no shade at Purdy, but Peter King's taking Purdy because he's got the Niners team around him and he's got Kyle Shanahan.
I don't know if he did mean it that way. Like, we were in that conversation. I didn't. He didn't say I want the 49ers to win a game this weekend. That would be obvious. There's only 2 or 3 teams you would take in the NFL. He said he's one of the first guys I would take to win a game this weekend. Sort of like, with a generic...
In a vacuum,
yeah. With a generic roster around him. I think it's very, very easy to give credit to both. You obviously cannot take away what the 49er roster is, but has been proven through Kyle Shanahan's time, you can't just put a quarterback back there and have it work. If we also agree with the statement, have the 49ers found their quarterback?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, for now.
Well, then okay, that's 2 different answers.
You can make an argument.
Now, you're going to think I'm trolling here, but I'm not. I'm not sure. Like, he may be just good enough to not sign him to a big contract in a couple years.
Well, I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors that have to play out, starting with health over those 2 years. I understand where you're coming from. What if I put it in a different light? Jeff Kent won the National League MVP in year 2000. Does he get credit for it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think was the main reason?
He was really good with the bat in his hands.
Okay.
And he had protection.
He hit the ball a lot.
Because he hit behind Barry Bonds, would be my answer.
Right.
Like, he never, right?
But you're not diminishing his impact.
Well, you are if you're saying that's why he won it.
That's
why it's important to say that's a part of it.
Right. It's a part of it. It's a big, big part of it. But I'm with you. I would never say it's the only reason. I'm not going to take the MVP away from Jeff Kent. There's a Hall of Fame conversation to have there. All right. For sure.
But you said something a second ago, Willard. I don't want to cape for Jimmy Garoppolo, and Steiny says it all the time. successful seasons don't have to culminate in championships. Jimmy's tenure here, I will argue, worked. You got a Super Bowl and 2 NFC championship games. Other teams would give their arms for that. So when you say it didn't work, it did work with Jimmy.
Okay,
there were some bumps and bruises, and we had to move on, but it worked. Lot of winning under Jimmy Garoppolo.
My point to say there has been a lot of quarterbacks to come through the exact same system where it didn't work. Okay, the 49ers we've watched. I mean, look at what the Trey Lance experience.
Now
and I know the people that didn't work.
5 quarters.
Beathard, well, no, it's more than that.
And Beathard and Mullins did not play with this cadre of talent.
But I would also respond and say that a blind squirrel could tell you that this is better than what Jimmy did. And no, I don't believe that's just because of Christian McCaffrey.
It was coming out.
You can't again. I don't know that in the NFL you cannot look historically at a time where great quarterback play at an undefeated level ever happened in spite of the quarterback. Produced by teammates. I don't think that exists.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer would be.
No, that was a season, and it wasn't even a good numerical.
It was half a season,
and it wasn't even a good numerical season.
But I think
it was a winning season.
Garoppolo,
you know,
whether it was fair or not.
For sure, for sure. But this is better than that. This is so clearly better than that.
I won't argue with that.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying when you get to a Super Bowl and a couple NFC title games with average, it's working. If that's what you want to call Jimmy.
No. I'm not saying that it didn't work. I'm saying it has. The argument, it sounds like it doesn't matter. It would work no matter who's back there.
I don't believe that because we've seen it. It doesn't. I like the one thing about Purdy that, like, when people say, I don't know why people need to see more, it would be like, well, Jimmy Garoppolo's resume is better than Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy's got to get a resume like Jimmy Garoppolo. It doesn't mean he's not good right now, but his resume's not as good as Jimmy's right now. It's no fault of his, so I can understand why people want to see the 49ers have success with him at quarterback.
Of course. You can only build a resume like that after you've had the time to build a resume like that. I'd also argue you have to tell me which page of the resume are you reading, because Jimmy never averaged over 30 points a game for 10 straight games.
Team success.
But again,
team success.
Okay, which portion of what paragraph are we reading? Yeah. There are things that Brock has done that Jimmy has never done.
And I want to put
he hasn't been in a Super Bowl yet.
Correct.
Well, that's big. Yeah. If it's Super Bowl or bust.
There are paragraphs for both, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, there are certain items where Brock's resume is better. There are many items where Jimmy's resume is better.
I'm going to say something that people are thinking but won't say it. For the people like Peter King that need to see more from Brock Purdy, you can laugh and scoff at those overthrows. But if we're all sitting up here saying, and I'm one of them, I need to see more, those are things that you put in the file, nothing to be alarmed about. But if this dude's going to somehow come back to earth and continue all of a sudden he can't hit the deep ball, that's what people are waiting for. Because what are you waiting on if you say you need to see more? Oh, he's got a wart. What's the wart? His accuracy downfield when receivers are running wide open.
No, I look at seeing more as, is he going to be down a couple scores in a playoff game and stay as poised as he has been?
Because he was down 7 in the first half.
Against who?
The Rams.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, you're playing.
No. Like
he was down 24 to the Eagles, and he refused to throw the ball.
But if they were to win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy,
a cheap shot.
We have not seen his signature moments yet.
Sure.
Oh, no,
so that's what we got to see or not see.
Yeah.
We can pick this up.
We won't see you tomorrow, but we'll come by if I come in the game.
Yeah, come through.
Oh, that's right.
You're still an if? You're still You're still figuring it out?
Yeah, so,
Come on. Come on.
All right, we'll talk.
Come to the game.
The 957 game.
Come to